Hey everybody, my name is Andrew,
And my name is Morag.
and we're back with another Culips episode. Okay, today we are going to do a Real Talk episode. Real Talk is the series where we take a close look at expressions that are very important for everyday life in an English-speaking country.
In this episode, we're going to learn how to buy over-the-counter medicine at a drugstore.
Yeah, there are two kinds of medicines that you can buy when you feel sick. Over-the-counter drugs and prescription drugs. But today we're going to focus on over-the-counter drugs. And hey, Morag, by the way, what is the difference between over-the-counter and prescription medication?
Well, prescription drugs or medication require a prescription, which is a fancy word for a doctor's note. These drugs are usually for more serious illnesses. Over-the-counter drugs, on the other hand, don't require a prescription at all. You can just go to the drugstore and buy them from the pharmacist.
That's right. There's one more thing that might be a little confusing for the listeners, and I'd like to clear that up. So that's the difference between three words: drugstore, pharmacy, and chemist. Morag, I'll ask you again. I'm sorry, I'm picking on you a little bit today, but what is the difference between these three words?
Well, luckily, I know. And all of them refer to the same basic thing. A drugstore, pharmacy, and chemist are all places where you can buy medicine, over the counter or prescription. But here in North America, we don't actually use the word chemist. That's just in the UK.
Yes. Now, Morag, I use the words drugstore and pharmacy interchangeably. I don't really have a preference. Both words are in my vocabulary. What about you?
Had to think about it for a second there, Andrew, but I'm pretty sure that I use drugstore to refer to the whole building that the pharmacy is located in, and
Okay.
pharmacy for the specific section where you go and talk to a pharmacist.
Very interesting.
But that might just be me.
Yeah, I think we can use both words, but you are right. To be very specific, the pharmacy is the section of a drugstore where you can buy over-the-counter and prescription medication.
Yes.
But almost always a pharmacy is located inside of a drugstore, which is a store that sells, well, lots of different things, right?
Yeah, they sell household goods. Just yesterday, I said to my roommate that I was going to pop out to the drugstore to get some paper towel. I would not say that I was going to pop out to the pharmacy to get some paper towel.
That's a very good example for the difference between these two words. So drugstore then is more of a general store where lots of household items are sold. The pharmacy is specifically for medicine, but you can find a pharmacy inside a drugstore.
Sorry to make that more difficult.
No, I'm glad we got to the bottom of it. That's great. let's outline the plan for this episode. We'll begin by listening to a conversation between a pharmacist and a customer. Then we'll take a close look at the conversation and examine all the key expressions you need to know to buy over-the-counter medicine in English.
Awesome. We'll take a listen to the conversation right after this message.
The best way to study with Culips is by becoming a Culips member. When you become a Culips member, you will get full transcripts, detailed vocabulary explanations, and quizzes for each episode. Visit culips.com. That's CULIPS.com to sign up and become a member.
Good afternoon. Can I help you with anything?
Hi, I'm looking for something to take for my cold.
I can help you with that. What are your symptoms?
I'm super congested. I have a headache and a sore throat and a slight fever.
You must have that nasty bug that's going around. I recommend you take this pill. It's very effective.
It won't make me feel tired, will it? I need to be awake during the day to keep an eye on my kids.
No, it shouldn't. It's non-drowsy.
Thanks very much for your help.
You're welcome. Feel better soon.
In the conversation, a customer goes to the pharmacy because he has a severe cold. The pharmacist helps him select some medicine that will help him get back on his feet in no time.
That's right. He's going to feel better in no time. We're going to examine 3 key areas of this conversation that are very important and that you're likely to encounter during a chat with a pharmacist.
Absolutely. And so key expression number 1 is a question. What are your symptoms? What are your symptoms? And Morag, let's listen to that part of the dialogue just a couple more times.
What are your symptoms? What are your symptoms?
All right, so Morag, you're my human dictionary today. Can you define symptom? What is a symptom?
Well, a symptom is some indication or feature of a sickness or a disease. So it is what that sickness or disease causes in you, what you show from it. So say for a cold, a runny nose is a symptom.
Exactly. And this is a very common question that you need to know how to answer whenever you go to the pharmacy looking for advice, or even if you go see the doctor or go to the hospital. It's a question you're going to be asked, so you should know how to talk about symptoms for common illnesses.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm curious, what are some alternative ways that we could phrase this question? What are your symptoms? Can you think of a different question you might hear that has the same meaning?
What's wrong or what's the matter?
Yeah, what's the matter? I like this one.
Mm-hmm.
What about, can you tell me how you're feeling?
That's a good one too. It's very open-ended.
Right. So all of these questions, what's the matter? What's wrong? Can you tell me how you're feeling? What are your symptoms? They all have the same meaning, and they're all ways to inquire about how you feel.
It's all about someone asking, what is it that is making you come here and talk to me today?
Exactly. Got to get you that medicine to make you feel better. All right, Morag, let's move on to our second key area. I'm hesitant to call it a key expression because it's not really an expression, but it's a key area of the conversation that we heard. And it is, I'm super congested. I have a headache and a sore throat and a slight fever. Okay, let's listen to that part of the conversation a couple more times.
I'm super congested. I have a headache and a sore throat and a slight fever. I'm super congested. I have a headache and a sore throat and a slight fever.
Morag, what's going on here with this line? What is the customer communicating?
The customer is communicating that they do not feel well. They probably have a cold.
Yeah. So this is just a list of symptoms, right? These are symptoms: congestion, headache, sore throat, slight fever. This is the answer to that previous question.
It's the sort of thing that the pharmacist needs, your list of symptoms, to be able to tell you what sort of drugs you need to take.
Precisely.
If you only had a headache, they would probably give you something different.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go over a list of common symptoms for, well, everyday minor illnesses, Morag. First one I want to talk about. This is a funny expression in English: a runny nose.
Or stuffy nose. They're the same thing, and they both sound very silly to me.
Yeah, they're funny. So a runny nose or stuffy nose is just when you've got a lot of gunk in your nose, and you might be sniffling a lot too when you have either one of these symptoms.
One thing that often goes along with that is a sore throat. And that's where, well, your throat is sore. It might hurt to swallow or feel like you have like a frog in your throat. That's another interesting expression.
Yeah, frog in your throat. I like that one. Something is stuck in your throat, that type of feeling. So along with this is a very common symptom, the cough, a cough, right? You can say to the pharmacist, oh, I have a cough. And this just means that you are coughing a lot.
Now that sounded like a dry cough. They might ask if you have a dry cough. And that's what you just did, Andrew. You can also have a different sort, but that's when it's really far down in your lungs. And if you have one of those coughs, you should probably go see a doctor.
The other type of cough is called a wet cough, or sometimes a productive cough. And this is kind of gross, but it's productive because you're producing mucus and gunk that's coming out of your body when you're coughing. So
let's hope you don't have that kind of cough.
it's kind of gross, but it's easy to remember the word productive because you're producing something when you cough. A couple of other symptoms that are very common with colds and fevers. Well, one is a body ache.
Saying that you have a body ache is much more helpful than just saying I hurt. Because a body ache is that thing that's associated with flus and other sort of more major common illnesses where you just hurt all over.
And if your head is sore, well, then you have a headache. So we have these two expressions to talk about pain, especially dull, throbbing pain. If it's in your head, it's a headache. If it's in the rest of your body, then it's a body ache.
Another symptom that you might need help from a pharmacist for is an upset stomach or nausea. You can use upset stomach as a catch-all term for intestinal distress. Is there another way you can phrase that, Andrew?
Intestinal distress.
Yes.
For all things related to stomach pain or problems.
So if you're having issues caused by some food that you ate, you can go to a pharmacist and say you have an upset stomach and they'll give you some help.
Yeah, or if you're perhaps on a road trip and you're feeling a little car sick, like you might want to throw up, you can tell the pharmacist you have an upset stomach.
Good point. Yeah.
And finally, the last symptom that we will talk about today is fever. Fever. So you have a fever. Your body temperature is high. Maybe you're sweating but feeling cold at the same time. This is a classic symptom of the flu and of colds too. So this is another symptom that you may encounter.
Okay, Andrew, let's move on to our third expression. It's non-drowsy. So our third expression again is it's non-drowsy. And let's listen to that part of the conversation just a couple more times.
It's non-drowsy. It's non-drowsy.
Okay, Morag, I'm not going to ask you this time to define non-drowsy. I'll take a stab at it. So drowsy means sleepy, okay? If you're feeling drowsy, you're feeling very sleepy and very lazy and lethargic. So if we describe a medicine as non-drowsy, then it means that if you take this medicine, you're not going to feel a side effect of being sleepy. You won't become sleepy. All right? You can get medicine in actually two kinds. There's drowsy and non-drowsy. But if you need to be alert during the day because you have to go to work or you have to drive a car, then definitely be sure to buy non-drowsy medicine. If you're lucky, though, and you can just stay at home and rest, then drowsy might be a better option for you. You can take a nice deep nap.
Do note that not all drowsy medications are labeled like that. Most things that are non-drowsy, like antihistamines for allergies or cold medication, things that will often cause you to be sleepy, those are labeled as non-drowsy, well, when they're non-drowsy, but often their drowsy counterparts don't actually have that written on the box. So it's always good to go talk to your friendly pharmacist.
Very, very good point, Morag, that non-drowsy medicine usually has it right on the packaging. It will say non-drowsy. Drowsy medicine doesn't say drowsy on the packet.
You just need to know that it's usually drowsy, which can be difficult, especially if you're traveling.
Yes, definitely. And like you said, it's always a good idea to chat with the pharmacist before taking any medicine because you never know what the side effects can be. Like you said, you might just take a medicine and then, feel very sleepy, very drowsy all of a sudden. This is a side effect, and there might be other side effects too. It's a great idea to converse with the pharmacist to find the medicine that works best for you.
I completely agree.
That brings us to the end of today's episode.
Don't forget that we will be replaying the conversation from earlier one more time at the end of this show, so stay tuned for that.
That's right. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please support us. Leave us a 5-star ranking and a review on iTunes, and tell your friends to listen to Culips.
Also, if you have any questions or comments for us, you can always send a message through our Facebook page at facebook.com/culipspodcast or our website, culips.com.
That's it for now. We'll be back soon with another episode.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Good afternoon. Can I help you with anything?
Hi, I'm looking for something to take for my cold.
I can help you with that. What are your symptoms?
I'm super congested. I have a headache and a sore throat and a slight fever.
You must have that nasty bug that's going around. I recommend you take this pill. It's very effective.
It won't make me feel tired, will it? I need to be awake during the day to keep an eye on my kids.
No, it shouldn't. It's non-drowsy.
Thanks very much for your help.
You're welcome. Feel better soon.
Have you signed up for the Culips newsletter? You can receive updates on all the latest episodes, tips about learning English, and special Culips offers delivered directly to your inbox for free. To join, just visit culips.com and enter your email address at the bottom of the page.